YouTube. Today I'm coming to y'all with a YouTube video. We outside. I'm about to go to the gym. Today is gonna be a video about how I feel like I don't know what I'm doing in my life sometimes. I'm very spiritual. Try to live a healthy lifestyle. Don't really talk to too much people, but it's feeling this weird sense. It used to be really bad. I was in this deep depression. I feel like I'm coming out of the depression. But I think I'm gonna do a story time on that. But I feel like I just wake up every day. Every day don't feel the same, but I feel like I'm not really doing anything. I don't really have a job right now. Y'all know I got fired from every job. But to be honest, it's like I really don't know what I want to do. I mean, like, to make money. I feel like there's things that I am good at and there's things that I like, but it's like I know I'm good at cooking and I like cooking. I cook like 4 days out of the week. And I feel like that's something I'm good at, but I feel like cooking, I feel like sometimes you can't make a living out of all your hobbies, cuz sometimes it's like when you got to do it all the time, it's just not the same. I used to work at a job. I worked at 2 food jobs. But I wasn't really on the grill at the first one. But the second one, I was in the back cooking, and the cooking was, oh wow, I thought the dog was off the leash. But it's like when I was cooking, it's like it didn't feel the same as when I'm cooking alone. Like I feel like when I'm cooking alone, I can I can try out the different flavors, different recipes, different seasonings, put as much oil as I want, take as long as I want, and it's not like it only takes an hour or 2 hours, but like when you're in the kitchen, you gotta follow what they want. You gotta you gotta do things in a certain time. Like, if you're making a sandwich, you can't take an hour to make the sandwich, because my sandwiches take an hour. If you're making a burger for a place, you gotta make it in like 15 to 20 minutes. So, probably why I wouldn't be a chef. When I cook, I like to cook nice and slow, and it's normally always good. Then there's college. Yeah, if I never went to college, never really wanted to. In high school, it depended on how I was feeling. Sometimes my grades were good, sometimes my grades was bad. Like, there was times like 10th grade year, I had like a 3.0, but I don't think I ever got higher than a 3.0. My junior year, I had like a 3.3, but that's when we was in the pandemic. And my senior year, I had like 2.0s, 1.8s. Ninth grade year, I had like 2.3s, 2.5s, 2.0s. So, but I never really liked school. Like in 10th grade, or it's like when I got good grades, it's like I really had to, it's like kind of like would stress me out. Like I kind of had to focus really hard or work very hard and to like focus and force myself to do the work, but I really didn't like it. What we was learning in school, it was boring to me. The teachers used to talk slow. You couldn't really talk to your friends at school. I mean, and then it's like, the time school was fun, it's like that. Those are the times you were getting in trouble, or those were the times where, you got put out of class. I got put out of class a lot sometimes, but, I was having fun. So I was like, I just know college. And when I was in 11th grade, and my grades were good, I'm not saying it was because, I'm not saying like I don't think I could have did it on my own, but my mom was a teacher, and she used to be like, and it was like during the pandemic, so she would be teaching. She didn't let me work in my room, and she said that I had to sit in the kitchen table I mean, she made me work in the kitchen every day, y'all. I had to come in the kitchen, sit down next to her. She would be in the dining room, and she would just be listening to me. She would just be making sure I'm doing my work and everything. So, who knows, I don't know. So, yeah, I never really liked school too much. I was really the class clown, the one making everybody laugh, cracking jokes, stuff like that. So, I just never felt like college was the right thing for me. I just didn't feel like I would do good in it. And then I was like 18, and this was like we was getting out of the pandemic. So you already know everybody was talking about college and how they was like miserable at college. They was dropping out. And then I think I was like 17. This was my senior year. This was the beginning of my senior year. And there was this girl that I used to be cool with before, we just stopped talking. And she said to me, she was in college, but she said she was thinking about dropping out. And she looked good, but she just seemed so unhappy. So I was like, hell no, I'm not going to college. It just seemed like people around me was trying to get me to go, but it just felt like the universe didn't want me to go, because like all I was seeing on YouTube was people dropping out of college, people being unhappy. Or I think when I got older, like I got 19 or 20, I would start going on Reddit, and everybody was saying how they got these college degrees, but they're like, and I'm not telling y'all not to go to, y'all can do what y'all want, but they were saying how they had these college degrees and they was like 40,000 in debt, 50,000 in debt, and they was like 30 or 40, and they're only making like 30,000 a year or something, or they don't even have enough money to really live on their own. So I'm like, dang, college just, like, from what I've seen, college, it just seemed like it just seemed like it was a waste of time. So I was like, nah, I'm not going to college. I looked up trade school and like careers, but I don't know, man. I don't want to do any of that. Like, I don't want to be a plumber or fix stuff or, engineer. I just don't feel drawn to any of those things. What else? They got IT. I don't really like being on the screen all day. I like to be out. I like to be out sometimes, I don't want to be in the house on a computer all day. Then they got plumbing, you can fix your AC, but man, no, I just wasn't trying to do all that. But then they got jobs, I feel like I had it on the tip. I'm trying to think of it. I can't think of it now, what I was about to say, but I just, I don't want to do any of those things really. I just feel like if I go to those jobs, it would be like the other jobs I work, but I'm just getting paid more money. I only have 2 little days off. I'm getting enough money to live on my own and survive, but I'm doing the same things every day. Not really, and it's not, I don't really like it, So that's that. I don't know, I feel like I just can't figure it out. I feel like I do. Like, people say to look back at what you wanted to do as a kid. I feel like I am good at talking to people. I think about a therapist, but I don't feel like I'm ready yet. Some days though, I just feel like I'm waking up and I'm just on this plane. I don't really got any friends, but that's that's a normal thing now. Nobody really has any friends. I go out every day though. I try to take care of myself. like work out, eat healthy. So I think that helped. But I don't know, man. I don't really. But other than that, like I just go to the gym. I just go to the grocery. You know, sometimes I do go around the way and play, but I don't know. Some days I just feel like, what am I doing? You know. But I think that's a part of the process sometimes, you know. You're meant to go through things like that. I've been applying to jobs, but I haven't, you know, I've really just been trying to apply to clothing stores because I can't see myself working at another fast food job or another food job or another grocery store. So yeah, it's the video. See y'all another time.